Hello, Little Whale Cove neighbors. I'm Bill Albright. I'm a member of our safety committee here at Little Whale Cove. And today I want to talk to you about our community radio service. And I hope that you will participate in it with us. The goal of our safety committee here at Little Whale Cove is to assist and encourage each household to be prepared in case of an emergency, to be ready to survive for 2 weeks at least in case we have emergencies here. The beauty of living here on the Oregon coast comes with some things that we need to be prepared for. For instance, we have from time to time extended power outages. We have the threats of forest fires, other types of emergencies, high wind warnings that may drop limbs and some of our trees. It's best to be prepared for those things. Inexpensive little radios that you can purchase work. They do work during emergencies, and I'm going to show you our kiosk board here talks about why you would have an emergency radio. For us to be able to communicate with you things that are going on in our neighborhood, you can listen in to our communications on just a very inexpensive radio, and I'll talk to you about how to get those radios. Also, you'll notice here we have our Little Whale Cove is divided by the safety committee up into 15 safety areas. Each area has a captain that you can work with, and so I encourage you to find out which safety area you are located in, learn your captain's name, and talk to your captain, especially if you have any questions about how to use the radios. So one thing I'd really like to encourage everyone to do is to go to our website, lwcha.org, and you can even click on, we have a QR code that will send you right to the safety committee's portion of that website. You'll find a lot of resources there to help you prepare for emergency. Things like household items that you may want to purchase for your household, go bags, lots of information about, like I mentioned, the radios that I suggest. We have some comparisons of different types of radios. There are lots of options, lots of places you can purchase them, and you'll find a lot of information there about those. Speaking of that, I want to talk more about our Little Whale Cove community radio service, and I hope that you'll find that very interesting too. So we've talked about how to locate the safety area that you're in, how to identify your safety captain. We've also talked about how to access our Little Whale Cove website and get lots of good information about preparing for emergencies. And we've talked about our community radio service and the practice that we do every month. So this is where, in a real emergency, it will happen. We will be right up here on the 3rd floor in what we affectionately call the crow's nest. And one of us will make our way over here, hopefully, and get powered up with the radios. And you turn on your radio and you'll hear us. And that's the way it works. So the goal of our community radio service is to be able to provide all of our residents with updated information during an emergency. We use radios to do that, as I mentioned, because we often don't have access to cell phones or internet services to do that. So I'm up here now, I'm showing you, we have a radio operations center up here that we've set up with a nice antenna, a very powerful radio that we can use to communicate out to our residents. So how do we do that? We test this radio equipment every month. On the first Saturday of each month, we test it. And we do that by polling our safety captains. Each safety captain is polled on the radios. We also poll the board members and our staff members. And it's a good chance for us to practice using our radios, making sure that they're working and they're in working order, and that we're able to hear each other communicate. So what do you need to do in order to participate in our community radio service? Well, the most important thing is to purchase a radio. These are these FRS radios. They're called FRS, Family Radio Service radios. They're very inexpensive. I've got a couple of them here. And so there's many to choose from, and we can help you decide which one is best for you. But all you need to do to hear us is turn your radio on like this. This one is set on channel 11 right now. We broadcast on channel 15. So what do you need to do? You press your menu button and press this up arrow until we get to channel 15. And now I'm ready to listen. And whatever's being broadcast or transmitted on our radio over here, you'll be able to hear it. If you want to talk on the radio, you can. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But all you really need to do, first of all, is listen and listen to what's going on the radio. So I just was talking about how we test our radios every month and practice using them. But what really happens in an emergency situation? So imagine that our power is out, and it's been out and expected to be out for a while. What you can expect is that one of us will make our way over here to the communication center on the 3rd floor. And what we will try to do as much as we can is to communicate information on the radios. We try to do that on the hour, every hour, as long as we have information to communicate. So what do? What you need to do is get your radio out, keep your radio charged, get it out and turn it on, probably about 5 minutes before the hour. And then you'll hear what we have to say. And you may be asked to respond if you have information to provide. For instance, if a tree has fallen in your area or limbs are down, you can communicate that to us via your radio. And then after you've heard what we've been communicating, it's a good idea if you turn your radio off. Don't leave it on to save your power until the next hour. And then you can turn it back on each hour and hear what information we've got. But keep that battery charged as long as you can by saving the power. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of things today. I just want to kind of finish with talking about just a few pointers on how to use your radio. So there's very few things that you really need to know about it. They're very simple to use. You turn them on, as I mentioned, you tune them to channel 15, and I showed you how to do that. So how do you use this? To listen, it's very easy. If you need or want to talk on it, there's a little button on the side here. It's called the push to talk button. It'll probably say PTT on it. And when you push in on that button and hold in on it, you are transmitting, and people will be able to hear you. You want to hold the radio so that your antenna is straight up and down, vertical position. Don't get it too close to your mouth. You want to keep it a decent distance away from your mouth. And the main thing is push to talk, and then when you're finished, release the button so that other people can talk back to you. So it's push to talk and then release. And remember, always listen first. You don't want to talk over the top of someone else who is talking. So if you wait till you hear some silence on the radio, and then go ahead and push your button and communicate with us. Thanks for listening today. I hope that you will all participate in our community radio service.